them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone. We're going to be discussing a very interesting topic of waste management. And we are very honored to have three very distinguished guests who are going to be helping us dig into the subject. We have Alberto Ceseña for one. Alvaro, sorry. Alvaro Ceseña, apologies. He's Chief Strategy Officer of Greenval Technologies, which is a highly innovative company engaged in the treatment and processing of used tires, right, to extract valuable products.
That's right.
And contribute to the circular economy.
That's right.
Thank you. We also have Ana Lopez. We have two Annas today. Ana Lopez, who is a coordinator of CIEC, which is the Center for Innovation of the Circular Economy, which is an economy hub promoted by the City Council of Madrid. And among other things, they help and promote startups engaged in the waste management and circular economy.
Yeah.
Right? And we also have Ana Benavent, who is Waste Treatment Proposals Director for Valoriza, which is a company, a very international company with multiple facilities engaged in treatment of waste and other environmental services with multiple facilities across Spain and abroad. So thank you very much for joining us. And the first question will be, why don't you, in your words, explain the role that you play or your company plays within waste management? I think that would help us, understand a bit better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, and good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. As you probably know, today is the Environment World Day, according to the United Nations. So precisely today, the 5th of June, is the World Environment Day. So I'm happy to be here precisely today. Do you know that we produce in Spain more than 300,000 tons per year of ELTs, end-of-life tires? Do you know that we produce in Europe more than 2.5 million tons per year of ELTs, end-of-life tires? What do we do with it? So nowadays, we have overcame the treatment of glass, waste paper, or waste Tetra bricks. But the two frontiers ahead of us are ELTs, tires, waste tires, and plastics. Mm-hmm. So that's our next challenge. So how to overcome that?
Yeah.
So in that sense, Greenval is a Spanish company who patented a pyrolysis reactor back in 2013, together with the CSIC. We patented a pyrolysis reactor to treat ELTs, end-of-life tires. Here in Spain, we have a plant in Zaragoza. And in this process, we produce from tires these two materials. Okay? We produce TPO, which is a tire pyrolytic oil that we sell to produce new plastics in petrochemicals. So in that sense, we contribute to the decarbonization industry goals. And we produce recovered carbon black, RCB, that we sell for tire manufacturers. And in that sense, we contribute to the circular economy.
Interesting. And you mentioned pyrolysis. What about the carbon footprint on that?
Yeah. Well, the pyrolysis is a kind of thermolysis, right? In complete absence of oxygen. The pyrolysis is a polymeric degradation by adding a lot of amounts of heat, but in complete absence of oxygen. So no oxygen, no CO2, not footprint, no greenhouse gases emissions. So in that sense, that's why I was saying before, we contribute to the decarbonization of the industry.
That's a very key word for everyone these days. Anna, what about yourself?
Okay, I'm the coordinator of CIEC, the Innovation Economy Circular Center, and we have plenty of programs, training programs. We also have incubate and accelerator programs, only for startups that are working in circular economy. And also we have a circularization program for companies that are, your company doesn't need it, but companies that want to change their processes into more circular processes, and they have, and they want to improve the company.
So you support also manufacturing companies that are in the process to transform their own.
Yes. Yes, we help the entrepreneurs, and also we help medium-sized and big companies to be more circular.
And you look at different types of materials.
Yes, we also have a Fab Lab, a digital laboratory, and we investigate and we prove with different kinds of materials. So if he was an entrepreneur, he could be in the TIEC, and we will help people that have new ideas or they want to create new materials.
Interesting.
We can help them.
Excellent. So any founder in the room, please take notes. Thank you, Anna. And what about yourself and Valoriza?
Yep. Hi, my name is Anna. I'm currently managing the proposals department for waste treatment in Valoriza. And Valoriza is an international company. We have recently been acquired by an investment fund, so we are now traveling on our own. Before we were part of a big group, construction group, so now we are an environmental services company. Okay. We do the whole waste value chain from cradle to grave. We pick up the waste on the streets, like waste collection, we put it into the waste treatment plants, and we even manage landfills, so literally from cradle to grave. Valoriza has a big role in circular economy. We are managing the waste, sorting the waste, separating it from what we throw at home, and I invite all of you to go to a waste treatment plant to see what really we do with that. We don't mixture the bags in the truck. They go to separate facilities, and we do magic, but we can do more because there are a lot of things to do, and we are preparing and incorporating innovative technologies in our processes so we can be the forefront of the sector.
Interesting. So let's talk a little bit about magic, and let's talk about magic across the different parts of the value chain. I mean, you mentioned collection, sorting, processing. It's a very complex supply chain. What are the challenges you see across the value chain? Maybe you can illustrate, with a few examples. What are the challenges the industry is facing today, and how is technology addressing those?
Yeah, I think for most of the industries involved in the waste management sector, there are four different challenges or barriers. One is to assure the feedstock, as you have said. You must assure your feedstock, the plastics or the ELTs in my case, or the paper or the glasses. Secondly, you must struggle with the land and permitting. There are many environmental permits and authorizations you must take. So second, for me, second challenge will be land and permitting. Local authorizations, environmental authorizations. Third, you must assure the off-takers. At the end, it's an industry. We are not the Red Cross. We are an industry, so we must have a profit or a balance, economically balanced. So in that sense, you must assure your off-takers as well for your products. And fourth would be the technology, certainly. So to have a strong long track record technology is a must.
Interesting. Any other challenges you see, or any other specific things you see?
Well, for us in the TIEC, we work with the companies in transformation. They transform their processes to make them more circular. And also, we always talk to them about the eco-design, because if you change and you redesign your processes, perhaps you are going to have less waste. So you have less waste, or your waste could be used in another company, like a raw material, and you don't have to manage because it's not going to be waste anymore. It's going to be another material. It's useful for another company. So we try to go one step ahead. And
so you're talking about engaging development engineers or development personnel in conceiving products in the first place that are meant to be circular or consume less resources, etc. Do you see that happening already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's happening. We have huge companies that are coming to the CIEC and asking us, we have this challenge, we have this waste, have this plastic, and we don't know what to do with it. So please help us, and perhaps we can print with 3D printers and make a new furniture or other kind of things with that plastic. So if we achieve that goal, it's not going to be waste anymore for them.
Okay.
Now they can sell this plastic, or they can sell this, the new thing they are going to produce, and it's not going to be plastic. So the economic balance is going to be better also.
Okay.
I want to add a challenge.
Yes.
Apart from eco-design, that would be fantastic, but later we, as a consumers, we also need to be educated further on how we recycle, how we separate at home, because the source separation at home makes things easier to recover. So first, reuse. Second one, reduce, which is almost impossible because everybody buys in Amazon. We're all crazy about that. Second would be reuse. And third would be recycle. To be able to recycle, we need to be able to separate the different streams. And to do that, we need to separate at home. If it's eco-design, it's better, but that's one of the main challenges for the future. Even in technologies, most of them are around, but they are not fitted for the waste stream that we want to use them for.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
and what about technology that, I'm imagining robots, or, we've come across also, companies that using AI and, video processing, etc., are able to sort materials. Have you seen that in action? Are you hopeful about technology having a big impact on?
Yeah, our plans until now, or until the last decade, were very manual. So all the sector is modernizing. We are using, for example, optical sorters with near-infrared machines that detect the different materials. And now there is a second layer coming in with the AI, with identifying shapes and trying even to identify materials. So a combination of both will reduce the manpower required, not the manpower, but yes, the manual picking, for example. It's a very nasty job to do. The bag arrives, spreads out, and you have to pick the things that are not beneficial for the process. So if we could ease and make the job safer, that would be fantastic. One is safer, and later the technologies need to adapt to the waste stream. You never know what's coming in a waste. So
yeah, no, that's a very important point. Actually, you don't know what the input of the plant is going to be, right? Which is a little bit different to other initiatives when you're recycling a very specific. I mean, you still want to have in tires quite a variety of compositions, right, in the input. So how do you solve that?
Yeah, I mean, what Anna has said is completely true. I mean, sorting the feedstock is very relevant. The better sorting we do, the better the recovery process will be. So that's for sure. In the tires industry, tires manufacturers have got more than 100 of different components. Yeah. It's like the cigarettes. Huh? So most of the components are the same, but the different quantities inside the tire are different from one manufacturer to another. So Pirelli has got their own recipe. Pirelli has got their own recipe or their on formula. So it's like pretty similar to the cigarettes. So, and on top of that, we have truck tires, passenger tires. We have summer tires, winter tires. The tires we have here in Spain are not the same one they have in Morocco or they have in Sweden. So all that sorting will help to have a better recovery, better track record of the waste management. But of course, that requires funding. Of course, that requires money to do that sort. But certainly, sort is a key. It's very relevant, and it helps for the recovery.
Can I
Yes,
add, because
Anna.
we do have a recycling tires facility where we do shredding. The facility, we don't sort it. I need to go and visit your facility because I haven't been yet. But I don't know how the tires arrive there, if it's the entire one, but we chip it. And after the sorting, another challenge we have with tires is separate the fibers from the iron.
Steel.
Yeah, from the iron from the steel from the rubber, and we have an example of 100% circular economy in that plant. We produce one of the byproducts, or the waste would be the dust that is generated in the shredding and in the grinding, and we use that dust in a patented formula that we create like a Nave creme.
Like a stock.
Yeah, it's an additive to be used in bituminous mixtures that improves the elasticity, improves the durability of the bitumen mixture, reduces the amount of bitumen used. So, and it's coming from something that would go to the waste, to the landfill. And yeah, I think in the tire world is very interesting, and there is a lot of things to do there.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a very good example as well of how standardization doesn't work, because you can't standardize the input because companies are actually constantly innovating, constantly coming with new recipes. So you have to be innovating as fast as they are in order to be able to, recycle, recover.
You're totally right.
That's where the co-design comes to play, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why so far today the waste management of glasses and papers have developed ahead because they are more or less homogeneous, the feedstock, unlike plastics or tires.
Yeah.
They are not homogeneous at all. They are not homogeneous. So I guess that's why those industries are at the end in the development of waste management.
Okay. So it's a very fast-paced
very
industry.
heterogeneous, the feedstock. Yeah.
And fast-pacing industry. So it's not all about software, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that, I know the regulation is also facing that problem.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Yes, and now they are saying that they are not going to allow to use different materials that are going to be a trouble regarding the recycling that material or that product.
Yeah, and you mentioned a very key word, which is regulation and policy. Is that really what's mainly driving the industry still today, or how do you see that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, there are internal drivers. Every industry, every company wants to fulfill their ESG commitments, their ESG goals, of course. But apart of that, which is relevant internally, we have a big leverage in the European environmental regulations and policies. That's the big leverage for all the waste management industry.
And how does that interplay with local regulation, regional regulation, national regulation, and EU on top of that? At least in the case of Europe, how does that? Is there a harmonization happening? Or?
First of all, the European Union, after several years, floats or issues different directives and environmental regulations and policies, and afterwards, different countries have got their internal periods, 4 years, to make the transposition of those rules into the national regulations. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was reading yesterday that in the newspapers that more than half of the laws that have been approved in Spain from 2019 to 2023 have come from European directives that have been transposed into the Spanish regulation. And later it comes down to the different regions and municipalities to implement them. Okay.
So Europe is a positive driving force. What about the types of regulation? Because you can incentivize, or you can punish, or you can put tax incentives. What have you seen working, and where do you see that more has to be done?
Yeah, all those European environmental regulations and policies have got two arms, or two weapons, or two different tools to play with. One are the founding, the next generation funds, basically are devoted or addressed to environmental transition, energy transition, digitalization. So that's a relevant, one of those leverages I mentioned before,
yeah.
meaning a reward or a funding, a soft funding for all those activities. And in the other side, we have the penalties. We must pay for the CO2 emissions, for instance. So these two leverages help the industry to understand, to become familiar with the waste management treatment. Huh?
So you see both equally important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The carrot on the stick.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I've been working in the renewable industry before waste management industry. The environmental regulations are the most leverage you can have, because they really push all the industries in the same direction.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think, sorry for interrupting. I think the regulation raised the bar. For example, the new levy, landfill levy, before some regions didn't have a landfill levy, so you could dump things in a landfill and you didn't pay anything, just the management fee. And now, a minimum of 30 euros per ton. So that's also incentivizing us to look for solutions, to look for new technologies like Alvaro's or others that are being developed to implement that into the stream, and the sector is modernizing also thanks to that. It's a punishing levy, yes, but it's also dynamizing the ecosystem. Yeah.
And also I think it's important that in public contractation, in public contracts, they introduce environmental issues.
Okay.
Because if a company couldn't apply to a public contract because the company hasn't have any kind of sustainability system or don't mind about sustainability, they can't apply to them, they are going to transform the company.
So that's a third way that public bodies can influence and incentivize, right?
Yes.
By forcing companies to be more sustainable in order to access public projects. Interesting. We have only a few minutes, but there's one thing that I wanted to touch before we finish, which is the investor or the investment side of things, right? I think everybody talks about circular economy as part of climate tech. It's a big buzzword, but are investors really paying enough attention and writing enough checks?
Yeah, I
in
mean,
your experience?
No, as big as we would like, of course. But yeah, day after day, they are paying more attention to these topics because of the reasons I mentioned before. Now in Greenville, last year, a big Spanish company, Repsol, invested a pretty big amount of money in the company. In my experience, we have two different kind of investors. One is an industrial investor who wants to partially take one of the products you are producing. In this case, Repsol takes the TPO.
As an off-taker, right?
Yeah, an off-taker. So yeah, that's right. They have both caps, investor and off-taker. So by acquiring part of the or investing in the company, they are assuring the product. And we have another kind of investors we deal with, which is infra funds. The infra funds have, as many things in life, has one good thing and one bad thing. The good thing is that they have more financial resourses by far. But the bad thing, they want to have a profit. They don't want to run in the long term. They want to hit and run. I mean, in 5 years, they want to sell their asset. On the contrary, unlike them, the industrial investors want to remain at the company, want to have a long relationship, but they have less amounts of money. But nowadays, we are in a roadshow to scale up our company, to build up new plants, and we are dealing with both different kind of investors.
So any investors in the room, pay attention to that. What about? I mean, you mentioned companies playing a role. What about financial investors? Are you seeing those in the startups that are emerging? Because infra funds are not necessarily, they're a little bit more risk averse, right? So what about in the venture world? Who takes the risk, the technology risk? Do you see that?
Well, we as a big company, we look for new technologies like Alvaro's one, and what we like to see and what we search for are established technologies that we can touch, that we can see tangible things already working and that we can go and visit and see that they work and implement into our processes. So our way of approaching that is, if you have something that is solving one problem that we have in terms of managing new wastes, new stream of wastes, and you have already a pilot and something that is working, we want to see it because it's very probable that we can implement that into our processes and innovate in our way of doing things. Of course,
interesting.
In the CIEC, we also see that almost every day. Companies come to us and say, okay, we want this, we have this challenge, do you have any startup that is working in this way or that perhaps help us? And usually we find someone and now they are working together and they are solving a problem that the big company didn't know how to solve it.
Interesting. So it seems that it's the classical or the perfect example where financial and corporate investors can contribute, to founders for, making transformative companies that can contribute to circular economy. And on that note, I think we are running out of time. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. And yes, waste is on trend, so it definitely deserves a lot of attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you.